Good morning, Eleanor. Grandma's got a really fun story for you today about a little mouse who lives out in the woods. It's called Mousekin's Family. I wonder if you've seen any books about Mousekin before, because this author, Edna Miller, wrote lots of books about Mousekin. Oh, he's looking in a hole in the tree, and look what's in there, some little faces. Wonder who that is. Mousekin's Family, story and pictures by Edna Miller. Oh my goodness, look, that's the same hole. And now we can look in the tree, and there's a mama mouse and 1, 2, 3 baby mice all snuggled up to her on this soft, downy fluff. And over here, there's the daddy mouse. He's outside. Looks like he's looking for food, and oh, I think he found a friend. Oh boy. Do you see the owls in the tree? Did you know that owls like to eat mice? Yeah. Lightning streaked through the forest and thunder rolled in the hills. Mousekin darted under a burdock leaf to keep the rain away. From beneath his leafy umbrella, Mousekin could see his home in the branches of the wild cherry tree. He had been away as long as it takes for a short mousekin time, as long as it takes for a pink baby mouse to grow a coat of soft gray fur and leave the warmth of his mother's side. It was Mousekin's turn now to watch over his young as they learned how to live in the forest. So first the mama takes care of the babies, and then when they're older, the daddy teaches them how to find food and how to be safe. So while he waited for the rain to stop falling, Mousekin busily nibbled fruit blown from a nearby tree. He never even noticed the stranger that shared his leaf in the storm until he felt something furry snuggle close beside him. Oh, look, there's a little mouse snuggling next to him. Too startled to squeak or to give more than a backward glance, Mousekin raced to the cherry tree and hurried along the rain-drenched branch to a very small opening known only to woodpeckers and white-footed mice. There were no sounds of baby mice at play inside the down-filled hollow. Mousekin's nest was empty. As he turned to search for his family, Mousekin heard a twittering call. Oh, where did they go? It's his turn to watch them, and he doesn't know where they are. There's Mousekin. And look down there. There's that other mouse. And oh, I think lightning bugs are out. Oh, goodness. Far below, in firefly light, stood the strange creature Mousekin had glimpsed under the burdock leaf. It had small mouse eyes, small mouse ears, tiny mouse paws, and hind legs much longer than his own. Perhaps it was one of his mouselings that had strayed from the cherry tree nest. Mousekin gave a welcoming squeak, calling the little mouse home. The furry form sat quietly and seemed not to hear. Did you hear that? The little mouse has feet much bigger than Mousekin's feet. Wonder if that is one of his babies. So, Mousekin whistled and squeaked again. A mouse must always come when called. He drummed his paw on the branch, coaxing the baby to climb. Whitefoot mice must learn to climb to live alone in a forest. The mouse baby never looked up. Mousekin skittered down the wild cherry tree and gently nudged the little creature. He turned and ran lightly from stone to stone until he came to a hickory tree. The mouseling bounded beside him in great long leaps. Oh, look how he jumps. Whoa, he can really leap far, can't he? I don't think I've ever seen a mouse do that. Oh, wait a minute. What's back here? What's that? There's somebody watching them. Is that a mouse? Huh, I don't know. Oh, and what's under here, under the leaf? Huh, interesting. Perhaps his squirrel cousins could teach the mouse to climb, for there is no safer place than some craggy tree hollow when a white-footed mouse must hide. The squirrels chattered noisily, leaping from tree to tree, where branches barely met. But the baby didn't stop to watch the racing and the chasing far above him. He leaped in higher and wider circles beneath the hickory tree. There he goes, leap, leap. What do I see there? Oh my goodness. What's that? Somebody's watching Mousekin. If the little mouse wouldn't climb, then he must learn to build a safe home on the ground. Mousekin scrambled here and there, gathering moss and grasses, tucking them all carefully beneath a ledge of stone. A porcupine cousin, safe within his coat of quills, watched Mousekin as he worked. But the dainty jumper skipped about and never turned his head. Oh, goodness. Let's see where that porcupine is. Oh, there it is, up above in the tree. And, oh my goodness, that looks like two mice. And there's Mousekin. That's strange. And there's the jumper. Whoa. Mousekin shuddered as he heard a wailing cry of a screech owl and the answering bark of a fox. He knew what would happen to any small mouse without a home in the forest. Perhaps his beaver cousins could teach the mouse to build. There is no stronger home than a beaver's lodge when an owl and a fox are nearby. Oh boy. All the animals in the forest seem to know how to stay safe. And Mousekin is worried about this little leaper, this little guy. Mousekin hurried to the stream with the jumper close behind him. Far upstream, they could hear splashing and sharp slapping sounds upon the water. They peered into the night as far as mice can see. Oh, look what's up there. Do you see the snail? How does he hide? How does he protect himself? Have you seen a snail hide in his shell? He can pull his head and body back all the way into the shell, can't he? Oh boy, I just noticed something. Look what's behind them. That looks like two other mice. Somebody's following them. Mousekin watched his beaver cousins work, gnawing and whittling around a tree until it fell upon the shore. He watched them float the branches out to their log-filled homes and listened as they slapped the water with broad, flat tails to signal their going and coming. But the only thing the naughty jumper saw was a great hawk moth. He chased the insect up and down and along the stony bank. Mousekin heard a turtle sigh as it drew inside its shell. Look, he's leaping on top of a turtle. Oh, the little mouse would never learn to build a home by watching. He just wants to play and leap, doesn't he? But there were other lessons to be learned. A mouse must know when it's time to gather and to store, and when it is time to eat the fruit as it ripens in the sun. Mousekin turned a blackberry around in his paws. His whiskers twitched with mousy pleasure. The baby mouse sat quietly, looking straight ahead, not touching the food as Mousekin placed it so temptingly beside him. Suddenly, the mouseling sprang. He flew past the blackberry bush. Oh, goodness. Look at all the blackberries. And who's under that leaf? 1, 2, 3 little mice. Oh, my goodness. he flew past a chipmunk. Eating an early meal, with one long leap, the mouseling jumped into a burrow. Whew, there he goes. But the chipmunk cousin didn't want any uninvited guest. The air was filled with squeaks and squeals and angry scolding. The little mouse scrambled back up through the chipmunk doorway. Oh, goodness, I thought that was his house. Did you think so too? But it's not. It belongs to the chipmunk. And the chipmunk says, "Get out of my house. I don't want company." I wonder where that poor mouse belongs. He's not paying any attention to the daddy mouse, is he? Maybe that's not one of his babies. The little creature barely heard a woodchuck cousin's warning whistle. A hungry hawk, can you see it up there, was circling high, watching the scene below. Oh boy, look out. There's the little mouse with the big feet. And there's the daddy mouse. And what's that on the branch? 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness, do you think those are his real babies? And this one is just a different mouse? Mousekin scrambled quickly into the nearest tree and hid beneath the broad leaves. The chipmunk darted into its burrow, pushing leaves and dirt up tight against the entryway. But the little jumper sat alone in the middle of the clearing. Oh no, I hope that hawk doesn't come flying down to catch him. Oh dear. Here he comes, oh no. As the hawk swooped low for its tiny prey, a large jumping mouse bounded forward, snatched her baby in a gentle grip. Oh, look, there's Mousekin watching. It was close, but I think his mommy came and rescued him. Look at that, a big jumping mouse. He must be a jumping mouse. In one swift motion, both the mother and the baby disappeared into the deep shadows of the underbrush. Mousekin then knew that the strange little creature was a cousin and not one of his own. For what seemed like a very long time, Mousekin sat quietly in the tall grass. The wind blew, and a long, low rumble of thunder broke the stillness once again. A drop of rain slid past him. Mousekin turned to search the woods for a family all his own. 3 white-footed mice with white footways were waiting somewhere for him. He hurried along familiar paths back to the wild cherry tree, and the patter of rain, like tiny mice feet, followed him into the woods. Oh, goodness. He doesn't even know it, does he? I think his babies are following him. He thinks it's the sound of raindrops, and it is raining. I can see some streaks, but I think that's his baby mice footsteps that he hears. Oh, he's silly, isn't he? He doesn't even know they've been watching him the whole time. And you know what? I think they learned a lot of lessons from their daddy just watching him in the woods. That is really cool. And now I think he's going to be able to keep them safe, isn't he? Mousekin's family. Did you like that book? I think this is a cool one. I've got another story for you, too, about Mousekin that I'll read another week. Love you, sweetie. You have a nice day. Bye-bye.